Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Gander Gardening with Dawn. Today is April the 4th, and there's a little bit of snow falling. But yesterday it was a lovely day, and I was outside in the garden and for about 2.5 hours cutting back some dead things and trimming and raking a little. And I have to say, I can feel it today, a few aches and pains. But it's going to be a while before it's actually really spring here in Gander, but I'm really looking forward to it. And today I'm talking about seeds, 7 seeds to start in April. And I haven't started any of these yet. I'm falling a little bit behind, which is usually what happens. It takes more and more time, of course, to take care of the seeds that you've already started. And then, as the months go by, it turns out that you don't have as much space and as time as you thought. Or at least in my case, that's what happens. So the very first seeds that I'm going to start, these first 3, I recommend starting in early April. So I'm hoping to get these started today. And the first one is a variety of cosmos, Apollo White. And also the second one is also a variety of cosmos, Apricotta. These are 2 that I grew myself last year. And in the case of the Apollo White, I have been saving my own seeds from those plants for a number of years. And you can see the seeds through the back. These are the Apollo White Cosmos seeds. And the same thing for the Apricotta. These are the Apricotta Cosmos seeds. I saved my own in these packs, and I'm going to be starting those very, very soon. What I do to try to keep them from crossing with other cosmos is I plant them in 2 completely different areas of the house. It isn't, of course, a guarantee. It is possible that these may have crossed, bees may have pollinated something else, but I put the Apollo White on one end if I can, and the Apricotta in another area. And sometimes I may have some of these plants put together, but I won't save seeds from those. I'll save seeds from the 2 types of cosmos that are the furthest apart in my garden, hopefully that they haven't crossed. But in any case, even if they did, they'd still be cosmos, and I'm sure they would still be quite pretty. But those are the first 2 that I'm starting, and they're from my own seeds, early April. Also in early April, I'm going to be starting some dahlia seeds. I do grow a number of dahlias from tubers, and in fact, one of the dahlias that I started from these same type of seeds last year, I really liked, and I saved the tubers from that one last year. So hopefully I will get that one to come back this year. I grew these last year for the first time, and I found that they were really nice, really, really pretty. Bright colors. They were, I would say, semi-double, some a little bit more double, but they were just gorgeous. I was really, really happy with them, and it was quite surprising to me how quickly they bloomed. I planted them around this time last year, and I had blooms on some of these in July from seed, which is astonishing to me. I was really, really surprised, but highly recommend this one, Dahlia Watercolor Mix. And there are another 3 seeds that I'm going to be starting in mid-April. And so that's not very far away. About a week from now, hopefully I will be getting these seeds planted. And the first one of these is chives. And I've had chives in my garden over the years, but I just thought I would start a nice fresh pot of them to keep them in an area where I have a little bit of a herb garden. and I thought that would be really pretty. So I'm going to start these from seed. They're just the regular common chives, and they are just so pretty. And of course, it's great to plant them close to some things that you might want to protect because they have a slightly onion flavor to them and an onion scent. It does keep pests away. And also in mid-April, I'm going to be starting 2 types of zinnias. One of these I've grown for a while, and the other one is brand new to me. The first one is Benary's Giant, and this one is coral. And I've grown this one for a little while, and I have found this grows really, really well. What I tend to do with the zinnias is I do start them in the little jiffy pellets. And as soon as they germinate, I put them in, as soon as they have maybe one set of true leaves, I put them in the pot where they will probably stay for the summer because I do tend to grow these in my container cutting garden. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be starting them in the little jiffy pellets and moving them very quickly into the pots where they stay for the summer because they really don't like to be disturbed. And if you do, it can set them back and they can have single flowers instead of double for a while. So anyway, I found this really works well for me. And because our season is a little bit short, I do like to get a little bit of a jump start. But if you live somewhere where your season is a lot longer, apparently it's much, much better to just plant these outside in the ground where you'd like them to be. And the other zinnia that I'm going to grow from seed this year is brand new to me. This one is Ballerina, and it's from Johnny's, and it is one that they have developed. And it has very soft, light, peachy, almost off-white tones and a variety of different shapes. They won't all be exactly the same, but I'm very interested in this. And I found that, again, these are for my container cutting garden. And I do enjoy having some large and soft colored flowers in my arrangements that I like to make over the summer. So I'm hoping that these will work out really well. But since it's my first year growing them, I don't know. But the zinnias and the chives I'll be planting in mid-April. And the last seeds that I'm starting in April are going to be started in late April. And these are Nasturtium. And as you can tell, they are in a white envelope because I gathered these from my own plants last year. And these are Alaska Apricot, my favorite nasturtium by far. As with all the Alaska types of nasturtium, they have the beautiful variegation on the leaves. And I find with that type as well, the leaves don't get too large. They stay quite small and nice. And these guys just were dropping seeds. They were in my container cutting garden, which was at the edge of a walkway. And I was able to just pick them up off of the ground. And here you see what they look like. They're quite large. And I thought, I did have other nasturtiums in my garden, but I thought these are the only Alaska varieties. So I'll be able to tell when I plant them if they are the Alaska apricot, or at least Alaska, because they will have variegated leaves. So if they don't have variegated leaves, I'll know that they're not the Alaska, and I can put them somewhere else. They'll all be beautiful. Nasturtiums are gorgeous, but this is my favorite nasturtium by far, Alaska apricot, from my own seeds. I also wanted to give you a little update as to how some of the plants that I've started already are doing. I think this is the first update for these particular plants. I have given you a few updates, I think, on some of the others, but I think this is the first time that I'm updating on these for a while in any case. Some of them I've never shown you the plants, I don't think, before. And let me just start with this one. And I put a little tag in here so I could remember when I planted each one. And this one was planted on January the 12th. And this is one of the Coleus Pinto mix. And I did show these to you, I know, when they were very tiny, but now they've gotten quite large. And I just wanted to show you, isn't that stunning? This is one of my favorites. It's a deep burgundy, and it has just the tiniest little hint of a light green on the edge, but this is amazing. And all of the Coleus Pinto mix are beautiful, but this one is my absolute favorite. Isn't it gorgeous? And planted not long after that, this one on January the 22nd, was the Fairway Mosaic Coleus. And look at that. And by the way, these two I haven't pinched back or anything. Some of the pinto mix I did need to pinch back. They were getting a little leggy, but I did find with these Fairway Mosaic, which I have grown from seed a few times before, they just stay. They are a dwarf variety. They will only get about 10 inches tall in total, and they will just stay really nice and stocky. Aren't they just lovely? And this next one is the annual Monarda, the lemon bee balm. And these were started on February the 27th. Look at that. Really doing well. So happy with these. Haven't grown these before, so excited to see what they look like. Started on March the 2nd, Gomphrena, QIS Carmine, or Carmine, I'm not sure. And look at that. They are doing really, really well. So March the 2nd, that's less than a month. Oh no, just over a month, because today is April the 4th. So a month and 2 days. Look at that. Really doing well. Gomphrena. Also started on March the 2nd, and this one I've grown many times before, and I just love it, especially for my cutting garden, because it is just gorgeous in arrangements. And this is Horizon Blue Azuratum. And these leaves always tend to sort of curl up, but that doesn't mean it's not doing well. That's just the way this guy seems to grow. And I just love this. Can't recommend this too highly for anyone who has a cutting garden or anywhere in your garden. They get about, I'd say 18 to 24 inches tall. And Horizon Blue Azuratum. We're getting a little closer in time now. This next one was started on March the 11th. And I think I may have shown you in my last video where I started these in the Jiffy pellets, and I was separating them and planting them in separate containers. But March the 11th, so that's just much more than 3 weeks. This is the lime green Nicotiana. And here we have one that I've grown for many, many years. And this is Crimson Better Nicotiana. And if you have seen that video, because they took about a week to germinate, and they were really incredibly tiny little plants, unbelievably tiny. But once they start growing, it's incredible. It's wild how much these will grow, how much growth they will put on. And Nicotianas are poisonous because, of course, they have nicotine in them. So you do need to be a little bit careful with them. But since I started growing these from a seed, which was quite a number of years ago, I cannot imagine not having them in my garden. They are just, something that I really, really depend on. So yeah, can't recommend these too highly. Nicotiana. And these last two seedlings that I have here were gifts from a very lovely lady named Stacy, who has a fantastic YouTube channel called Growing in the Cove. And I had the opportunity to meet her a couple of weeks ago. We exchanged some seedlings, and I was fortunate enough to get columbine blue star that she gave me, and some Euchera Palace purple. And I'm so happy. And Stacy, I'm doing my best to take care of these, and I will update you about them again later. But I highly recommend that you check out her channel and see what's growing in another area of Newfoundland. Thank you so much for checking this video out today. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your support more than you possibly could know. And I hope you're all having an absolute wonderful day in your garden. Thank you.